Thank you for staying with us. Last week, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, flagged off its Ember Months campaign with the message, drive safe to stay safe. I would say drive safe to stay alive. The sensitization is against night travels especially, and to sensitize road users on safety measures to forestall crashes and road traffic-related incidents during these Ember months. And remember, Nigerians do not joke with their travel home at Christmas. For some people, that is not to be compromised. So between now and December, there's heavy traffic along our highways of people going to spend time with their loved ones over the festive period. This morning, it's my pleasure to welcome the Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Lagos, Mr. Olusegun Ogungbemide. Good morning.
Good morning, Ma. It's a pleasure to be with you again.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Now, this campaign has taken off, and among other things, you're also checking motorists' papers. Private, public, everyone is having their documentation checked. What prompted that decision at this time of the year?
Thank you very much. When we say we are checking motorist papers, I will need to correct that message.
Please.
Because checking papers could amount to checking the entire documents of the driver.
Okay.
But the one that is of relevance to us at this moment is the driver's license.
Oh, that's all you are checking?
Yes.
Okay, people, take note. Federal Road Safety is only checking your driver's license, not your insurance, not your vehicle, not your road tax, not your, what's the other one called? Roadworthiness. Just your driver's license. That's wonderful news.
Yes, that's, and what really prompted it is because of the trend of crashes that has been recorded over time. Right from the beginning of the year, like I gave my data recently, that from January to date, we've lost about 101 road users, and more than, if I'm not mistaken, more than 460 have been injured. And for us to get it right in line with the United Nations Decade of Action policy of reducing fatality by 50% between 2021 and 2030, we have to check the rudiments of the problem. And the nitty-gritty of the problem is how these driver's licenses are being procured. Because if you don't have driver's license, you don't have any business being on the road.
Okay, so did you find that many of those accidents were caused by people who did not have valid driver's licenses?
Anytime you want to assess issues of crashes on our roads, it's always approached from every angle.
Okay.
Because one thing is, when you find yourself on the road without a valid driver's license or without driver's license at all, it's as good as the entire society sitting on gunpowder. Because we believe that when you don't have valid driver's license, it means you don't understand the rudiment of driving, and your presence of the road amount to risk to other road users. So in the course of the year, we also confirmed that many people are not having this driver's license. If I could arrest 15,000 people in the first quarter of the year, and driver license issue happen to be prominent there too, is an indication that I should checkmate that something is actually wrong. Okay. And that was what prompted that decision.
Okay. Now, tell us about obtaining driver's licenses today. What is the process like now? The
process should be a good news to Nigeria because we've been able to build integrity of acquiring driver's license. Unlike in the olden days where you sit at the comfort of your home and somebody comes around and pick your passport, and the following day you adore with driver's license. Today, before you can acquire a driver's license, you have to undergo 26-day syllabus from a reliable, standardized driving school.
Okay.
That is the number one step.
Okay.
And it's after the 26 syllabus have been concluded, that your certificate will be produced. It's automated.
Okay.
It's not something you can, let me say, intercept along the process.
Okay.
That line of syllabus system must be concluded before it can generate your certificate. And the certificate has a code that is personal to you.
Okay.
It's the code you use in accessing the portal from where you apply to acquire driver's license. And having done that, if you've gotten that code, you now present yourself to VIS, that's Vehicle Inspection Services, that have gone through the driving school, a standard driving school as recommended by Federal Road Safety Corps, and I want to present myself for driver's license. So you'll be tested for proficiency.
Okay. How does one know which driving school is actually approved?
Yes, it is already on our portal. That's the Federal Safety website, www.frsc.gov.ng. Or when you assess, when you want to know driving schools that are approved by Federal Safety Corps, you see all the details.
The list is there. Okay.
And you can also approach our centers, our various driver's license centers. They will be able to acquaint you with those that are in Lagos. That's the best way you can actually assess a driving school that is recognized by the Federal Road Safety Corps, because those are the ones that have gone through the necessary prerequisites of getting all it takes to be called a standard driving school.
Okay, let's go back to this your campaign. If I'm not mistaken, around this time, almost every year, you come out with this campaign because you're trying to, you know, curtail accidents on the road because so many people are on the highways traveling. Right. How much success has the campaign yielded?
Well, over the years, by the time you look at what will have happened if these campaigns are not there, you appreciate the success we have made over the years.
Has it resulted in reduced numbers of accidents?
Sure. And, you know why I'm saying this? It depends on the theme of each campaign.
Okay.
And, you know, FRSC, our process is always based on intelligence reports. Like when we realized in the past that the drivers or the passengers, the commuters now, are not playing the role they should play while on transit, we came out with a process of campaign that says Operation Speak Out. That's Sorosoke, but not in line with NSAS this time, but in line with our own job, because we realize that when commuters are inside the vehicle, traveling from one point to the other, under a few minutes, they have half of the occupants of the vehicles are asleep. Many people get involved in crashes, and when it's fatal, they don't even feel the pains of fatality because they were sleeping and they just opened their eyes and discovered that they are gone.
Well, they won't open their eyes.
Whether they open their eyes, I don't know. But the essence of that one is we realized that people were not taking this message as serious as we intended. And I said, if the man is misbehaving as a driver, you have a role to play as a passenger.
Okay.
Do you know it worked like a bomb?
What is that role that they have to play?
The role they have to play is, as a passenger in the vehicle, your role starts from the point when you get to that vehicle. The vehicle you're about to board, does it meet up with the minimum safety standard? You look at the tires. I can't enter a vehicle that the tire is already worn out and is to take me from one point to the other, and I will say, God will protect me. And you sit down inside the vehicle, you discover that virtually all parts of the vehicle are torn. You can even see the main road from inside.
From inside.
I'm sure you must have come across vehicles like this. And you also realize that the vehicle is not even having side mirror. Many people undermine the importance of side mirror. A driver is driving you and is looking at the back, turning practically to look the back rather than using the side mirror because it's not available. Those are the kind of driver that enter road without looking. And you notice that your driver does not even have what's it called, wiper, and we are in the raining season. He's taking you and he's bringing out his hand with a towel to clean this windscreen, and you say God will take control. And you were seated, and a man was just coming towards your vehicle, about to board the vehicle as the driver, and you notice that he's drunk, and you keep quiet. That's where it starts. Assuming you were able to clear all this cobweb, maybe it's not there, is a clean vehicle, and you now enter the vehicle and is a clean driver, and is driving and making call, and you keep quiet. Anytime I have reason to travel in a commercial vehicle, my focus is always the inner mirror, because that's when you can see the countenance of the driver. Practically 50% of drivers boarded were always struggling with sleep. You see them blinking their eyes and yawning, and that's why we plead with members of the public that they should engage their drivers when they are on transit.
Okay.
Always engage him positively.
Keep them awake.
Keep him awake.
Yeah.
And when you feel he's beyond his control, you all advise him, agree as a body, Mr. Man, you can park a while and rest. Okay. It's all about taking us to our destination.
Okay.
And those are the things we have achieved in the course of our public enlightenment over the years.
Okay, so you have told passengers, well, you had a campaign that passengers should say something. Yes. How are they going to say something if they see anything? Yes,
well, okay, it depends. It could be internal and external. Internal is when it has to do with you communicating with the driver.
Okay.
Driver, that call you are making is a distraction.
Okay.
Federal safety call regulation does not permit, Nigerian regulation, traffic regulation does not permit it. You are going to get distracted. Driver, your speed is too much.
Okay.
We are not rushing to anywhere. But as a corporation, as a corporate, you just form a corporate setting within the vehicle. All of you must speak with one voice.
So if I see that he doesn't have a wiper or his tires are all smooth,
don't board the vehicle.
Is that all I can do?
You can report
to road safety.
Apart from road safety now, you can report to the authority of the motor park.
Okay.
It's either as an organized motor park or this corporate transport union.
Okay.
You can report. Then we've had an experience, if you recall, a few months back, when a passenger called Federal Safety Corps along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway that the driver was driving dangerously. He called 122. 122 called the sector commander of Ogun State, and that driver was stopped, and that journey was truncated to save the passengers. Okay. These are the things we've done over the years, and have saved so many people's lives.
Ayo.
Thank you, Alera. Let me just very quickly ask Mr. Ogungbemile, when you say that we should you're only looking at driver licenses, of course, that's valid. I mean, whoever has to be on the road must be licensed to drive. But then you have also listed some infractions, if I can use that word, of vehicles on the roads. Those that do not have rear view mirrors, those that you can literally see the road you're traveling on right there in the bus and all of that. Shouldn't we also, in some cases, be looking at roadworthiness of these vehicles?
But when I say we are just emphasizing on driver's license now, I just mentioned the issue of intelligent enforcement has been put in place by Federal Safety Corps. I am not saying that when you have an infraction that has to do with roadworthiness, the issue of asking for your roadworthiness will not be there. But we are not out at this moment to start asking for roadworthiness paper when you have not committed any infraction that has to do with that. So there are two ways to it. When you commit an infraction, and that has been the mode of Federal Safety Corps operation, there must be primary offense being committed before we can ask for your vehicle papers. At this moment, with the request for drivers to show their driver's license issue has now become a primary offense, because that's what we are out to check out, to look out for. And that is just the process. So if your vehicle is not roadworthy, definitely I will want to confirm your certificate to show whether if you have worn-out tires and you have a certificate that says your vehicle is roadworthy, I will have to question how you got it. And such vehicle is always impounded.
Okay. Well, another thing, you just mentioned something, interesting, because a number of people have complained about this. There are those who, upon incidental arrests, just for want of a better word, they find out, I don't know if this is, under your authority, but they just find out that at the point of being questioned by authorities, some tell them, you actually have a ticket that's been with you, that's been against your name for some 3-4 months, and you need to clear it before we can let you go. If people find such things, how should they react? They didn't even know that there was any offense against their names, only to find out 6 months, 7 months down the line that they need to pay some fines.
That one is not quite peculiar to Federal Safety Corps style of operations. Where we have such, even you yourself will have known that you committed an offense, an infraction. Maybe you escaped in the course of being apprehended. That's the one that is actually prominent in Federal Safety Corps. When you commit an offense and you escape, that's arrest, your vehicle is declared wanted. And you will know that you escaped from an arrest, but not the one that is ambiguous to you.
You are not wanted. It's your vehicle that is wanted.
It's your vehicle. That's the instrument of committing the offense.
Okay.
That's the one we work on. Okay. Because without the number plate, we will not be able to identify you. Okay. And that's the way we operate. But I've had this, even we had reason to discuss over it. I think what he's trying to refer to is the one that is being operated by VIS. That's, and really it has to do with the renewal of roadworthiness certificate.
But I guess that you all work together,
yes,
don't you? Because, I mean, it happened to me personally. I mean, in 2019, this year, I was stopped on the road and told that my roadworthiness for 2019 expired a few days before I went to renew it in 2020.
2019?
Yes. I had a valid roadworthiness certificate, but I was told that I had a ticket from 2019 which had to be cleared, otherwise I would not be allowed to move. My car would be impounded. And I said, but I went to renew my papers in 2020. Why wasn't I told that I had a ticket and asked to clear it before my papers were renewed in 2020? Oh, they say, I'm speaking grammar. The computer should have sent me a notice. I said, but the computer did not send me a message.
I think the modus
I had to pay a fine on the spot. Yes,
on the spot. I think the modus operandi of that particular system will be better explained by the director of VIS.
Now he dodges.
No, it's just a fact. It will be in the best position to explain the system.
Well, I expected that you would raise that issue, yes, because you're not the only one who has had to go through. But let's go back to the road safety corps commander in Lagos. There are those who are also confused about what documents which agency of government can ask me. There are those who would say there are some papers that the police are empowered to ask you, those that no other agency but FRSC can ask you. VIS cannot ask you about this, it can ask you about this. Just to be clear, what papers are the drivers, motorists, users of the roads, what papers can a road safety official in any part of the country, what papers can they ask from a motorist?
Wow. Ours is a resultant request, if I may put it that way. We don't go out to start asking for documents or vehicles. Our area of interest is after you have committed an offense. Without an establishment, an offense being committed, we cannot just say, where is your vehicle papers? When we start asking you for vehicle papers, you should know that a primary offense has been established. So I don't have any reason to ask for your papers. When you drive in a manner that I suspect you don't have it, you are not a licensed driver. When you are flagged down, I'll say, good morning, gentlemen. May we have, are you a licensed driver at all? They say, yes, I'm a licensed driver. This is my driver's license. And the next thing I say, sorry, you just overtook wrongly, and I'm going to book you for wrongful overtaking. If your driver's license is expired, I ask for your other vehicle documents. That's the vehicle papers, the roadworthiness, and insurance.
Yeah.
This is to assist you in order not to get your vehicle impounded. So we only request for those documents in Federal Road Safety Corps in lieu of truncating your trip. In a situation where it's expired or you don't have it, the vehicle is impounded until your fines is paid or you are back from the court. So those are the reasons why FRSC has contact with drivers' documents.
Okay. Just 1 second, sir. Are you saying that it is illegal for any road safety official to stop a vehicle for no reason at all? Under what circumstance is a motorist mandated to stop when a road safety official says stop?
By virtue of the Establishment Act, the law says when an offense is established to have been committed or suspected to have been committed, if I notice you are making call from afar while driving, the law permits me to stop you. If I notice you drove dangerously ahead, maybe even when you made attempt to overtake wrongly, and on sighting me, you flip back, the law says I should stop you. Okay. If I notice your vehicle's roadworthiness is the minimum safety standard is not maintained, the law says I should stop you. But not when you have not committed any offense, except I'm suspecting that an offense has been committed.
Okay.
So, and I said it, there could be a time when we are out, maybe if our intelligence enforcement has to do with bad tires, incessant crashes involved in tire bursts, we could be out to look out for tires that are bad. I recall that I cannot suspect a tire that is bad while rolling.
Yeah.
At that point, I have the right to stop you to check your tires. So these are the various ways we carry out our enforcement.
You gave yourself as an example a short while ago, and you said if you stopped somebody, you would say, "Good morning, sir," or whatever, and then ask them the question. Are your men so well trained that they would be that polite to a road user?
That is the training given to them. And every FRSC, when it comes to issue of courtesy to road users, even many members of the public will give thumb up to FRSC by virtue of the training we have given to our men. If he does anything contrary outside, that is not. They said a lion should always behave like a lion. That is not the training given to them. And you have the right. I've said this severally. You don't get justice through the social media. You get justice by communicating back to the people that send them out. Okay. If in the course of encountering our men, they were rude in their conduct, they have their names, there's body codes on their vehicle, you can refer back to the management and say, I never liked the way I've had a series of complaints from members of the public, and the men are always sanctioned.
Okay. Permit me to ask you this question, because one of the things that you are out to do is to reduce issues of accidents to the barest minimum. Now, there's something that disturbs me as an individual, and perhaps a number of other people as well. Those who have reason to go out very early in the morning or have to return very late in the night usually have this arduous experience of blaring lights, the use of headlamps. Some use high beams all the time. Meanwhile, they're supposed to use the low beams, which cuts off the severity of the glare in their eyes at the level of the bonnet of the vehicle. Is there anything that can be done or is being done or should be done? Because I know that there is a law that says you know, the beaming that prohibits beaming of lights into the oncoming driver's eyes in the night and in the mornings, very early when it's dark. You have any thoughts on that? Because I also know that there's been a report from your office, from the FRSC, that it's also one of those things responsible for accidents when it's dark.
Let me say the assault from other road users against the oncoming vehicle is just an understatement. The bulk of the problems is with all these articulated vehicles with extra lights that are beamed and distract. So many crashes have been recorded in this regard. If you come to my office, you see where we have a pile-up of all these extra lights that have been detached from these trucks. And you agree with me that when it comes to issue of enforcement in Nigeria, it's always up there, very difficult because of the categories of people we are dealing with. So we believe our efforts when we want to do enforcement has to be complemented with more of enlightenment, that's sensitizing members of the public. If I can spend an hour or 2 hours attending to one vehicle on the highway, and you know that thousands of offenders will have gone. But I can reach out to millions of offenders through publicity and sensitization. Okay. That's why we spend all the necessary effort and resources in reaching out to members of the public. Like this one you just mentioned is actually quite germane when it comes to efforts to reduce road traffic crashes. Because most of the bulk of crashes that are recorded in the recent time happened at night. And if you assess it very well, these lights, the misuse and abuse of headlamps played major role.
Okay. Well, Mr. Olusegun Ogungbemide, Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Lagos. All we can do now is just to wish you luck with this, your campaign. Thank you for coming to tell us about it and telling Nigerians about it.
Thank you.
So good luck, and we wish you happy Ember months.
I appreciate that.
Mr. Olusegun Ogungbemide, Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.